Hello and welcome to I Can Do Better Sustainability Stories with me, Emma Jane Beatty. Today I am very pleased to be speaking to Emmanuel Duffaut. He is Chief Sustainability Officer at Retal, a multinational plastic packaging producer for the world's food and beverage industries, working with many leading brands. Emmanuel leads the sustainability department, bringing his deep understanding of sustainability reporting and mitigating actions to the company. Today, we're talking about how his career in corporate sustainability enables him to do better across his personal and professional life. Hello and welcome, Emmanuel.
Hello, Emma. How are you?
Very good. I'm very pleased to be speaking to you again. Can you start by telling me what led you to sustainability as a career?
Oh, it was just pure and simple chance. I was at the right spot at the right time, I guess, when sustainability started to become mainstream. I was available at that time, and my company kind of directed me towards that new field, which was very much a green field. It was just a matter of chance, really.
So, how has that green field evolved over your career?
Oh, a lot. I remember at the beginning it was just about basically carbon footprint, and everybody had to search what it was, and very little information available. And now it has evolved to the point where it's, I would say, a critical aspect of a lot of legislation, especially in Europe. So it's not just something nice to have from big companies and global brands. It's really into the legislation now, so it's it's critical now. I mean, it's a must have. It's not just a nice to have.
How does that legislation make your job easier and how does it make it harder? And do you think there's too much or a good amount?
Yeah, I think that the good side of sustainability, or a lot of aspect of sustainability being into the legislation, is that it provides a level field to everybody. So everybody has to do exactly the same thing. So we can compare the action of one and another. The drawback to that is that sometimes legislation goes too far, maybe to the detriment of competitiveness. So, bringing too much, let's say, burden to the companies. And the more legislation you have, the more resource you need to provide to meet that requirement. And it's not always easy for everybody. So, yes, it provides comparability between the different actors. So, everybody has to meet the same requirement, but sometimes, yeah, it goes probably too far, and yeah, it's a burden.
How do you think that will change in the coming years?
Well, I think we've seen recently the retraction from the European Union in terms of sustainability related legislation, with a couple of omnibus directive to stop the clock on certain sustainability related directives and regulation, because obviously, as I was saying, it really represents somehow a burden to certain companies, and not needed at the present time, with all the upheaval we can observe in the world right now. So we really need companies in Europe to be competitive, and we don't need to add any non-welcome burden to them. So yes, it's good that we have sustainability in the legislation, because I think it's an important aspect of how you should run a business. But yeah, you need to be conscious that competitiveness comes also into the equation.
Hmm. Okay, thank you. So do you generally feel positive about how sustainability as a topic is evolving for global companies? If you feel like there's been a period of time perhaps around sustainability where the focus has been on the rules and regulations, the sustainability legislation part of it, as opposed to the actual doing of sustainability?
Uh, no, I don't think it went that far. But for example, now, I mean, I think every company instinctively, even though you don't put the name sustainability on it, they're really trying to ensure their long-term sustainability one way or another. I think the legislation is just helping those companies to put a name on it and to formalize what I think they've been doing instinctively. But yeah, recently maybe the legislation has been a little bit too much, especially in terms of reporting. So, it's good for the investors, it's good for the stakeholders because they have more transparency and they can compare, but it's really adding an extra burden on the company to have to collect a lot of data, to have to formalize everything in a time maybe where there are more pressing issues than just reporting on what you're doing on sustainability. So I don't think it's gone way against the competitiveness, but I think the timing wasn't right, maybe. So it's always a balance you need to find between what you propose and what is needed. But overall, I think legislation is a positive thing.
And what about the day-to-day actions that companies like Retal can integrate as part of their business that helps to improve the sustainability overall? What kind of initiatives and ideas have you suggested that have been implemented that have delivered good results?
Well, in our case, we are a business to business company. We obviously have very strong brand owner as customers. So they were at the beginning of our journey into sustainability. They were really the key drivers of that because they had a lot of expectation fostered by their own strong sustainability commitment. So we had to meet their expectation. So that was the key driver at the beginning. So it was not really for us to take conscious decision. It was more to follow them and to work in the same way they were working. And the more you get knowledgeable, along the way, the more you can see things that you could do on your own to improve the sustainability of our own business. So yeah, I mean, we have been doing several things, especially in the social aspect and the ethical aspect. It was not formalized and not integrated as such and visible as such in the way we're running our business. So, we did a lot of actions on anti-corruption, for example, on due diligence on human rights in and out of the company. So to make sure we identify the potential risk, the potential impact that we may have. So yeah, stuff like that, that are not so visible when you're not within the sustainability sphere. But yeah, when you start learning about all this, you see, oh yeah, we should do that maybe, and we should identify the risk and the potential impact we may have, and then act upon it. I think, yeah, it's a positive journey for the company to formalize it with the sustainability vocabulary, and you see new things. Yeah.
So working with like big global brands, do you feel encouraged about the value that they place on the sustainability of their packaging?
It's definitely a driver. I think a positive one. The payback for our effort in terms of sustainability, ensuring that we are a sustainable partner, that will not let them down because we pay attention to the different impact we may have, the different risk we may have in terms of environment, social, and governance, and so that they can trust us. And the more you do, the better you become. So it's a good driver for your own good. It's definitely somehow at some point a competitive edge, but it's very difficult to quantify. It's very difficult to quantify, and that's probably what's you know, halting progress on sustainability in many companies is that you don't see very visibly the payback that you get, because it's all about trust, it's all about reputation, it's all about long-term benefits. And we tend to be always in an economy where it's on the short term. So it's very difficult to really see the immediate value. It's a long term thing, so that's why maybe it's difficult to see a lot of progress in sustainability in many companies, especially when they tend to be smaller.
Yes, I can understand that. Against the bottom line, which is a lot more immediate, that must be more of a challenge. So, how do you think your professional expertise helps you to do better in your daily life?
Well, you have more insight on different things. I guess you are able to take out the political and publicity, bashing or campaign, and really get to the truth of each issue on sustainability. Like if we refer to plastic packaging, there's a lot of, negative things that are being highlighted wrongfully sometimes. You get to know, I mean, you get to get closer to the truth behind, all those campaigns. And I think you are able to make more informed decision on your day-to-day basis. It doesn't mean you always do it, but at least you have the knowledge to be able to do it when the chance comes.
So, is there anything specific that you've integrated into your personal life that you feel would be beneficial to share?
Yeah, for example, I try to limit as much as I can the use of car. I tend to be more responsible on commuting. So I use a lot more public transport and things like that than my own car. I think I make more sustainable and healthy decision in terms of and in my consumption every day, I think.
Thank you. So, from when you said at the beginning that it was kind of a chance opportunity that led you to a career in sustainability, do you feel like that chance has been a positive influence on your professional life?
Yeah, I think so, because sustainability is really transversal within a company. So you need to know a little bit about everything, and you need to cooperate with a lot of people. So, of course, you get to know more about a company than if you were only maybe in production or finance or quality. So I think it's a very positive experience if you are given the means to do your job, really, really well. If you have the support of the top management, yeah, it's a rich experience. I would recommend it.
Perfect. Thank you. So that's everything for today. I really very much appreciate your
You're
time
very
and sharing
welcome.
your professional views on sustainability. Thank you for giving us a window into the life of a chief sustainability officer for a global plastic packaging producer. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.